Are we rolling, hen?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm
Well,
so nervous.
I'm so nervous. Well, welcome to the
So
Weekly
shy.
Wigz, hen.
Sorry,
Can I
I
say your
interrupted
full
you
name,
then.
by the way, or should I just refer to you as Liam? Should we
I
put
don't
Liam
mind.
Condy into the mix?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's
Is it
like your
gonna? I'm gonna get
public...
cancelled though. Like, I feel like people are gonna dox me. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, it's like, you're on TikTok, aren't you, as Liam
That's
Condy,
true. I
right?
am. That's true. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, here we are, hens. We're rolling. We're rock and rolling. And welcome Liam Condy to the Weekly Wigz. Audience
Hiya.
applause. Hello.
Thank you.
Insert noise effect of a pretend audience. Welcome, hen. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Are you nervous now? You're a little
I am
nervous.
nervous. You just said we're rolling, and I'm going. Oh, no, what
Look,
do I do?
hen, we're just having a
Professional.
FaceTime. We're just like shooting the shit. But yeah, welcome back, gang. Hello. We are on episode... God, what episode is this now? 14. We're rolling them out 10. I honestly feel like I've literally done like 1,000 episodes so far. And when you look at it, like 14 is actually not a lot. But when you're yapping for 14 hours you know what I mean? It's like, it's a lot.
Also, it's like a massive achievement, like genuinely. I
Oh
listen
my
to
God,
you, I've
let me
already
just
told you
start it
this,
off
but
with a bit
so,
of praise.
well, I'm just going to blow smoke at your bum, don't mind me.
Thanks.
I actually do listen to your podcast every time I
I
finish work in the
know.
office, and
You
it's my
listen in your
little
car.
drive-in podcast.
I'm very
So,
honoured. I always wonder, like, where do people listen? Like, because when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm generally usually listening when I'm like out on the tram, or sometimes if I'm like cooking or something in the house, I'll have it on like in the background.
yeah,
But everyone listens to it in very different ways, don't they? So,
yeah. Well, your first one I listened to on YouTube, and then
okay.
I moved over to Spotify because obviously with driving.
Spotify, we
So
have Spotify. Yeah, most people actually listen to me on Spotify. And those people listening to this episode right now, you may be on any platform. Welcome back. We've got our second guest of the pod today, is my longtime chum, Mr. Liam Condy.
and we mentioned like 3 times already. Hashtag famous.
I was going to say that. Like, you've made some sprinkles of appearances, and I'm sure people have probably been wondering, who's this Liam boy? Why is he
We're
not
about to
on
find
you?
out, divas.
And here he is for your viewing and listening to light. So I guess we'll just like get into a bit of background about how we met. And then later on, we're going to have like a bit of a core discussion around just like adulthood and being in our 30s, because we're old bitches now. And just like all the, ups and downs of life. And we'll sprinkle in a few hot topics of the week as well into it. But I just wanted to sort of intro you to the pod gang, to the residents of Yap City. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Hen. How did we meet? I feel like I always like to put that in the hands of the guest instead of me dictating what my like introduction of you is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we both went to uni together.
We did.
I think the first time I met you was when you knocked on. So I lived in a different flat to Meg in first year, and I think Meg's already told this story, but
it sprinkles into the Amber story. Yeah, previous guest Amber. Go listen to the episode. Plug.
Party people, and they invited us all
party
over
people
to their...
is putting in a bit. Like, we were just like, we got no friends. What do we do? I guess we knock on doors. We're just ravers.
Anyway. Invited everyone over to Prinks in their flat. So obviously that's the first time I met Meg.
I haven't heard someone say the word Prinks in years.
We're going back to 2015 or whatever. 2012. No, when did we go to uni?
2012. Yeah, so for context, obviously I'm a year older than you, so I had started my first year in Derby University, and then I moved to University of South Wales, or back as we knew it then was University of Glamorgan. So you were a fresher and I was a second year. Yeah.
And then we obviously, our friendship bloomed from there. And actually what's quite funny is, as part of for my first year, I guess the first year we were friends, in uni, we started a radio show together.
We did! Which is
a bit of a throwback to this, really.
It was called The Monday Night Mashup with Liam and Meg. And actually, hilariously,
so
I'm not joking you, actually, let me see if I can show this to the screen, or I'll screenshot it. I've still got access to the Facebook page.
Stop.
I think it must have been set up, obviously, because like Facebook was more the social media back then, wasn't it? To like create your pages. And we had a Facebook page. And I think it's linked to like, oh, look at that. Sorry, I've just gone on it. And there's a little notification that says, thank you for being part of the Facebook family. Let's celebrate your 13th anniversary. So that page has been in existence for 13 years, which is kind of crazy. And I don't know I don't really want to delete it because it feels like something in the archives. But can you see it? Tequila radio.
Can you see
There
it?
it is.
It's very
Swatch
influenced
test.
of you.
I'll maybe put like a picture up or something. But Monday Night Mashup with Liam and Meg. Tune in to
Yeah.
Liam and Meg on Tequila Radio every Monday from 7:30 p.m. onwards.
Well, that's quite late. Were we the last slot? I feel like we were.
It was a university radio station, so it probably honestly went on to at least
To like 9, maybe?
10, maybe even 10, honestly. How long would the university building have been open for, I guess? Because it was
I don't
situated
know.
inside the campus, wasn't it? So it probably would have been no later than 10, because they would have had to have been like security or something in the building, I imagine.
And we had lots of avid listeners, which consisted of
Our
my
mums.
mum and your mum.
Oh, and like occasional flatmates who'd be like, "Hiya,
That's
can you
true.
request a song?"
Yeah.
Because sometimes we
Yeah.
would like do the show, and like, not that we went out that much, but like if we were going out, say in the night after it, it would be like they were being pre-drinks
The
and
DJ
listening to
almost,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't think it happened very often, though, to be fair, Meg.
No, not a lot. Yeah, because I was actually saying in one of my other episodes about my university journey that I was so shocked at how mild you all were as freshers, and I was like, because we spent so many nights just like playing PlayStation and ordering Dominoes in, didn't we? And I was
Yeah,
thinking,
just chilling.
oh, are we not going out to the club?
I think my flat people that I lived with were a lot more like docile than like your flat.
Yeah, we just for some reason became the adopted party flat, didn't we? Somehow. Not that me and Amber were ever like these crazy party girls, because we actually weren't,
No.
but maybe we just were a bit more sociable, perhaps. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, different types of socialism, I guess. We also made a YouTube channel as well.
We
That's
did.
also in our
Yeah.
career of life.
And for hilariously, I just spotted that we were obviously promoting it on this Facebook page for the radio.
So cringe.
the Crack'em-on Challenge.
We made that up.
20. We did. Go on, tell the
Trendsetters.
people.
Oh god, so cringe. I don't even know if it's live. People can go and watch it. I don't even
I
know what I
will
want to say.
link it. Hashtag
Great, thanks,
keyword
Sam.
bans.
When I share this on my Instagram and all my work colleagues see this and I cringe.
Memes.
Yeah, so we did loads of challenge videos because that was like the thing on YouTube at the time. Obviously, we were trying to be like influencers before influencers were a thing.
It was the
and
era of YouTube, though, wasn't it? Like
yeah, it was like
2012,
Zoella
2013.
vibes. It was like original Zoella, that sort of era. So it was just up and coming, and we were like, "It's gonna be us. We're gonna be the new Zoella." Like
I
with
think
challenge
that's
videos.
what like massively bonded us though at that point of life, because we clearly had like similar interests, and
Yeah, totally.
we were really obviously. I mean, I still really like enjoy watching YouTube and all that stuff, but we were
Me
like
too.
quite highly invested in it. Like we went to the Summer in the City.
Oh my god, that was like VidCon before
convention
VidCon was a thing,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
that
we
was
obviously were
fun.
making our own videos on the channel. And then we also were low-key being live streamers, trying to be, weren't we,
Oh
on
my
that?
god, what's the name of that thing? You
Now?
Now. Oh my gosh, yeah.
God, the
And look at you now
OG.
doing TikTok lives. It's full circle.
It all comes full circle. And this is what I was saying this a few weeks ago, like, I can't believe it's taken me this long in life to come back around to, like, truthfully putting my skills to use, because that's what we were doing, weren't we? Like, that was our life.
Yeah,
And
totally.
we were media students as well at uni, so...
Totally. And also,
Something.
I know we're going to talk about adulthood and all that sort of stuff and like whatever later on, but I was thinking about this before because I am a massive nerd, just to preface
He's
this.
a nerdy nerd!
I'm a nerd. And I used to love all that sort of nerdy stuff, like way back when I was in primary school and stuff. And then obviously secondary school, you have to try and be cool and not get bullied. And then,
Truly.
literally, you've got what's it called when you acclimatize to people? I can't remember what the word's called, but you know what I mean. And then only recently, in the last like I don't know 4 or 5 years, since like, well, actually probably since being with Owen, who was my husband. As
Hi,
context,
Owen. Shout out to Owen.
I've like really leaned into that nerdy side, like D&D and Magic the Gathering, and I'm just sort of like back in my element with it. And it's funny how it's full circle when it's like your initial hobbies and interests, you like refine them.
Yeah.
You're like, actually, I'm like quite happy and my most happy at this point because this is like me, you know? So
It's
anyway.
easy. I feel like this will lend into the conversation later about like growing up, but it is very easy for you to just like kind of flitter away from those interests. And truthfully, it's like who you are and what you enjoy. And it's nice to see that we've come like full circle back around to enjoying the things that very much bonded our friendship at the start, isn't it? And it's like, oh, look at us
100%.
go. And I mean, you know, other than our general interests, I think when you're at that young age, like university itself is such an interesting human social experience, isn't it? Of just like, we all live in this same building. Some of us just live in this same flat for like a year or so. And isn't it mad that how you just randomly will just find cliques and then you just go on to move in with them? And we went to a
Yeah.
student house, and it's like, that whole palaver was actually quite funny, wasn't it? Thinking back, like, I had a whole moment where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to live with everyone. I might go back with my parents. And then I made everyone's life hell and was like, sorry, I changed my mind.
No, it was fine. No, because I think as well we weren't like that far into the process either, which was good. But obviously it's a good thing because we ended up living together after uni as well. So
We
you
did.
know,
We had
God,
many
we've
an
seen
entertaining
some
evening.
stories, haven't we? Yeah.
Some of
God.
my, okay, so I know this like always comes up in conversation, and like this may or may not make the edit, who knows? But my favourite personal stories of uni times is, can you go a wild guess of what the first one might
Oh,
be
I
if we
feel
were to
like
go in
it's probably going to
chronological
be some
order?
horrifically drunk evening. We have a
That
few of
may
them.
involve a certain kitchen item.
Oh yeah, maybe. Girl, you're gonna spill my tea, I'm gonna spill yours. So.
What was it? Flipping around, wicked witch.
Yeah.
It begins with a
Walk night.
W.
Yeah, it's walk
Hashtag
night.
walk
Hashtag
night.
infamous walk night.
It is
We won't get
hilarious
into the
how,
minor details.
yeah,
I
that.
speed in a walk. That was the end goal. Not the end goal. The
Hey,
end
we're meant to try and
product.
build up the story, okay?
You do not need to know the ins and outs.
I always think fondly back to that story, though, specifically when it comes to our friendship, because I just feel, everyone in their friendships, if you've been friends for a long time, you can pinpoint those moments where you're like, yeah, we were like locked in from that point. And to be fair, what locks you in more than you spewing in a walk and me tidying it up and giving you your SpongeBob pajamas? I mean,
Adult.
adult. But like, there's just certain moments in life that you think, yeah, it's kind of destined
Yeah.
to be that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was pretty fuming that night though, because I was so excited for this night out that we'd planned. And this was a funny night where we'd had our prinks, love her prinks. And Amber, who I'm sure she'll love this little shout out, she also was having a cron that night, wasn't she? Bless her. I think we maybe
It
gave her
was a
too much
rough night for both
vodka.
of us, I think.
It was such an entertaining like hour or two. And when you think back to when we used to go out at say like 10, 11 p.m. at night, it wasn't even that late into the night. It was probably like maybe 8, 9 p.m. when we started
Yeah.
drinking. Things just like spill out of hand as they do when you're students. And then an hour later, Amber's like crawled up in her ensuite bathroom, spewing in the toilet, bless her. And then you disappeared, and then you're all over the place. I'm like, what's he doing? And I come to discover you in your flat, have then spewed in a walk. We're all mopping it up. And I'm thinking, guys, I'm ready to go out.
I think
One
we
of the other
just.
girls left for chicken nuggets. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay
Was
then.
it fish fingers?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know, whatever. Yeah, I feel like it was definitely peak properly like getting into drinking as like students and young
Oh
people who
God,
don't
yeah.
drink super often, obviously, and then you just like go all in, and we went all in, and
It
it was
bonds you in a
hideous.
certain way, doesn't it? Because you're seeing someone in their most like raw version, like just a
God,
complete mess. Me equally the
you see
same.
me at some pretty low lows when it comes to alcohol.
I honestly same. My literal first week, I was having a mental breakdown, crying on the floor, too drunk, like, "Whoa!" And then
Yeah.
you're all coming to me. Fast forward to you spewing in a walk. I'm tidying up your sick. We've equally done that many a
Yeah.
time. You had a toilet seat on your head, crying into
Yeah.
the toilet bowl.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
you thought you were dying at one point. It's great. Wow,
Oh,
bonding.
mems.
Luckily, we've moved on to actual adult relationships and friendships
In it,
now
and I
because we
don't
can.
drink anymore, so like
No,
gone
and
are
I don't
those
really, man.
days. And then we did also, one of my other favourite kind of anecdotes is often our little Amsterdam trip that we took, and this was post university, which I feel like we have to share with the gang. What was the year? 2016 maybe, or 17? Actually, I think it was 2016 because we lived in like the same halls block in uni. Then we went on for your second year to live in a house share, and then there was a gap where like I had graduated a year before you, and then came back together, and we were flatmates then for 3 years down in Cardiff Bay. And then that's where we started like, oh, we're adults now. We can like go on holidays and do things. And I think it was our first trip as a duo was to go to Amsterdam, wasn't it? Had we gone somewhere before that, or was it Amsterdam?
We did
Can't remember.
Spain, but I don't know if that was before or after.
Oh, that might have been after. Oh, we'd done London a few times as well, and we've
Yeah,
done a few
yeah,
trips to
yeah.
London. But we go to Amsterdam, first time experience for the both of us. And your auntie actually recommended this cafe for us to go to. As we know, in
Mm.
Amsterdam, it's known for the certain
Type of
activities,
cafe.
shall we
Yeah.
say, and certain cuisines and interesting
Yep.
cakes, shall we say. Don't want to get banned online.
No, no,
But
no.
as you do, you're like, well, you only live once. It's legal here. You may as well give it a go. And do you want to like take the rest of the story away?
I don't really remember a whole lot of it, to be honest, because I've still been having a panic attack. So,
My memories of that was we were sat in this cafe, which, by the way, was called the Dolphin Cafe, wasn't it? And it was actually the most
shout out.
trippiest. It was the
XX1.
trippiest thing, wasn't it? Like, talk about an interest in decor for that type of experience, where mainly people are going there to go to this cloud, shall we
Partake,
say?
yeah.
Yeah. The internet term actually for it is gardening. I learned. That's what the
Okay.
Gen Zers say. They
Oh,
garden because it's
I'm a
like
different kind of gardener. I'm a
literally your
natural type
plants in
of
the background.
gardener.
So we go to this trippy cafe, which was like blue sea, like walls and
Like
dolphins,
coral
and
and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
very
aquatic
colourful.
themed, wasn't it? And then we don't bloody know what we're doing. We asked the man, like, can we get like a muffin or something? And we're just such amateurs. He's like, yeah, just have like one between you, split it in half, and like give it an hour. So we're like, okay. So we do that. We're just chilling in the calf. I had my
Just sorry,
oh,
just to
go on.
interrupt. We actually bought two because they
Oh,
were
we
like, he was like,
did.
oh yeah, just have you can have like one each, but just to start off, just have like half of one each because then see how it reacts and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Thank God we didn't
Can't
have the
believe we
second
got.
one.
I'd be
Yeah, I
dead.
forgot about that. So we're just chilling, and it's you have this like anticipation, don't you, of like what's gonna happen? I've never done this before. Oh, am I gonna feel funky? Uh, and then we're just like shooting the shit, and I had my camera with me, and I was just like I'd been taking a lot of photos, so I was like doing a video as well, I think, for the trip, and I was looking back through everything, and everything was like relatively calm. And they did warn us that like give it like 45 minutes to an hour, it should kind of hit then. And don't the one thing I think that I remember they warned you is like do not feel tempted to like immediately eat another one if you don't think
Mm,
anything's because it can like obviously hit.
come off one quickly, yeah.
And that it did quite so hit. Um
Yeah.
I can just remember it like pinpoint clear of just looking at my camera at a photo and just like out of the blue. To be fair, I internally start to feel a bit like, ooh, feeling a bit wavy here. But I wasn't like panicked by it as such, and I didn't necessarily
No.
like voice that out loud. But you out of the blue just like shot up out of your seat. And it was like, oh, just left the establishment. And I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Wild.
And then we step outside and we're like, you okay, hen? And you're like, girl, I don't feel well.
Thing is, okay, I think what happened was I was fine, but at the time you well, was like your first instance of being sober and you weren't drinking.
Yeah.
And you hadn't drank in like a long time or had anything in a long time. So I was like, and also you were the planner at that point. I was the one who was the really unorganized one, and we were not living. We were staying just outside of Amsterdam. So
Oh,
in
we
my head, I was like,
stayed in
oh
the
God,
worst place, didn't we?
yeah. We
Oh,
were like
that's
had to
actually
get a
side
bus as
tangent. Sorry to
well.
interrupt you. Can we actually just mention the whole thing about the stupid ibis room and us not realizing that the shower was inside the room?
Um,
And it's like, girlies, we're friends, but like, I don't want you to see me naked. Like, do you know
It was a routine to one of us would sit out in the corridor,
that was
which
such
is
a flop.
wild.
It
Yeah.
was a really bad location as well. It was really far
Mm,
out from the city centre, and we were obviously like poor back then, so we're like, it's cheap, so we'll stay there.
yeah,
But
exactly. And
anyway,
that's one of the reasons why I was like anxious about it. I'm an anxious person anyway, very
yeah.
anxious person anyway. And so that obviously sparked paranoia, being like, oh my God, what if like Meg has like a bit of like a funny turn? And what if I'm the
Oh,
one who has to try and get us back to the place where we're staying? And I don't have
mm-hmm.
any of the details or the documents. I don't even know what bus we need to get on back. And it's like a half an hour bus to get back to where we were
Yeah.
staying before even like going through the tram to get in the bus to whatever. And so that I was spiraling in my head. I think that I was like,
Do you think those thoughts were like already there before you had ate the substance, or did it just like come out of nowhere?
I think, yeah, like minorly. Do you know what I mean? Like ever
Yeah.
so slightly. I was like, oh, well, I hope everything is fine because obviously I was like concerned for you, sort of like hopefully you won't react in like a weird way or whatever. And I was the one who ended up reacting in a weird way.
The whole time you're just sat there having full panic about me and like what may or may not happen. And meanwhile, what's actually happening is you're having like a full meltdown, and I'm going,
Literally.
I am not in a
Yeah.
mental state to deal with this.
Literally.
And then we proceed to just kind of like bounce off of each other and share panic attacks, which is basically what happened. So we're out on this
Bonding.
like quite a busy area actually. Like Amsterdam is obviously, if you've been there, it's full of like, well, it's a little bit like blocks of streets, isn't it? Like spaced out with the canals. And we were on this pretty like busy, what kind of felt like a high street. I always have this memory of being sat across from a Magnum shop. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Like one of those
yeah.
create your own Magnum kind of cafe things. And we were just walking down this road, and I was just not really anywhere to sit. So we just sat on this high street floor, which was
It was
not
like
the
next
best.
to, I guess, one of those like electrical boxes. Obviously, it was safe to do
Yeah.
so, but it was like sort of near there.
Yeah, we didn't put ourselves in that
Probably
mistake.
stank of like piss and goodness knows what.
Oh, it was it was
But we sat
grotty.
there anyway.
I
And then our legs felt like this not working.
I just, it was just
So
the
wild.
most, it's hilarious when we think back now. It probably all happened in the span of like no more than 15 to 20 minutes, but it felt like we were there for
100%.
5,000 hours.
I
We were
I think that's why I was panicking, because I was also like, this is never going to end. This is going to be me forever.
in this permanent state of just paranoia and panic and like, my body's out of control. The only reason I
Tragic.
started having a bit of a panic attack is because I was finding it hard to manage your panic attack when I was not really in the state for it. And then I started panicking like, oh my God, how is this ever going to resolve itself? Like, it's only us two. I was also conscious of the fact that, like, knowing I'm sort of the planner, I'm also thinking on the time frame, it was kind of like later in the evening, we had to get a bus, and then there's like obviously how most buses like stop at like 11 or something, right? And in my head, I'm also thinking, we also got to make our way to the like station, and we're not there yet, and I don't know how I'm ever going to calm this man down. And then I would be like hyperventilating, and then you're trying to like calm me down.
It would be this. We'd do this a lot.
Yeah. It was like a bit of ping pong. Right, your go ahead, my go. And that probably went on for maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then there was just this hilarious just moment where we just both twigged and we were like, we've got to stand up. We have to stand
No,
up.
get our shit together. Let's go. Like,
I can't tell you how wobbly my legs were. when I stood up. I felt like one of those, you know, have you seen a video of a giraffe trying to stand up for the first time? Like a baby giraffe. I was like,
literally.
oh. I think we both felt that struggle because it's weird how it affects, like, obviously your mental is a bit paranoid and you feel all weird, but the physical as well. Your body kind of feels like all gooey and relaxed, if that's what you want to call it.
Well,
But
yeah, and also, I don't even think it was just like the gardener or whatever. I think it was genuinely because we'd had a panic attack, and obviously all the
yeah,
blood would have flown through our vital
adrenaline.
organs to protect that sort of side of it and the adrenaline. So it was just like a lot going on.
Our bodies were going through some trauma at that moment, like physically and mentally.
Oh
And but we
God.
knew deep down, we've got to stand up. Like we can't just sit here like all night. We got to get our best. So we knew there was a tram stop like just up the road, and thankfully it was like a short walk to get there. And I can just remember us like standing up, and I was at that point felt so acutely aware of what we must have looked like to other people. And I was like,
Absolutely.
oh no, everyone knows we look like messes, we're embarrassing. It's like these Amsterdam residents who are probably so used to it are probably
Well, do
thinking,
you remember
tourist.
some guy came past and he was smoking, he flicked a cigarette, his
Yeah.
cigarette butt at my face.
That's how little he thought of us as humans. They were like, oh, vermin, look at them coming to our country and ruin. Oh, anyway, we obviously stumble our way somehow to this tram stop, and then I can just recall how weird I felt on that tram. We'd found separate seats, so we weren't right next to each other, and I was on this like little single seat, and I was just the whole time I was so paranoid. I was like, oh, look normal. Oh my god,
Were
everyone's staring
you?
at me.
At that point, I was fine. I was
Were
yawning
you?
really loudly. I remember saying that I was yawning really loudly.
You know that feeling when you're like a kid and you start drinking, and maybe this is just my experience. I always felt like when I came home from parties or something, when I was going back to my parents, I wanted to not come across like I was like super drunk. You kind of put this performance on that like, oh, I'm sober, I'm fine. And you do this thing
I'm
to
really actually very, very cool.
when deep down you know you're like absolutely steaming, but like you don't want to show it. That's what I felt like in that moment on the tram of like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not like tripping over here.
So
I'm
funny.
fine. But meanwhile, I'm to someone else, I'm probably going like, I probably look like really paranoid. And then of course we finally get to the train station, or the train/bus station hub, don't we? Which is where we have to then get our final bus. And we're running through the train station, and then out of the blue, just when you thought you were fine, you're all of a sudden feeling very sick. And you're going, I think I'm going to vom. You run off to this corner behind a
Why am
pillar.
I so
And I was like,
tragic?
you can't be sick in the middle of the train station. We'll get arrested or something. Thankfully, you weren't.
No,
But I
it's
remember
fine.
that being the last of the palavers. And then eventually we find our little station. And this is the last thing I can recall, was there was a timetable and we were figuring out the best time we had to get. And I'm not joking you, I think I went back to look at that time like 10 plus times. I was so
I remember.
paranoid that I was like going to forget. And I was like, I need to go check.
In case like the time changes on the paper board. Like
What platform are we on again? Hold on, let me go look. I was just like, I was like, we had to get home. Because the thing is, let's be real, we were so like poor back then. We couldn't have just
yeah,
afforded to have paid like
taxi or
a
something.
taxi, because
Yeah.
we already got fobbed off when we came to the airport, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like €70. That was all our money gone. We were like, oh shit. And then the next day was just a complete lost day because we're
For
just in the
you, not
trench.
really for me. I feel
Oh,
like I
I
wasn't
was in
too
the
bad.
trenches. I was
Yeah.
in the trench. I felt kind of bad that day because I'm sure you probably could have gone out and done something, but we just kind of hunkered down in this sad little ibis hotel room, and I felt
You ordered
awful the
pizza
next
from
day.
the thing.
What a shit pizza that
Oh,
was.
so good.
The aftermath of what that space cake did to me was unworldly. It was like almost having a hangover times 1,000, but like not really hungover. It's more, I think it was the mental thing. It's probably also to do with the fact that we physically had panic attacks, that it makes you feel like just nothing. I felt like a sack of potatoes the next day. I was like, I can't function. I can't speak to anyone. I need to sleep. I need like to be in a little dark room. I can't face the world.
Well, nothing
So yeah,
bonds you quite like a panic attack. So
it doesn't. And you know what? I feel like that has set the foundations for our friendship, because how long have we been friends for now? 13 plus years? I can't do quick math.
2012, 14 years this year.
14 years. God, we're old,
Yeah.
aren't we? We are old.
Yeah. We've graduated 11 years this year.
Oh, don't even start me.
And look at us now.
Look at us now. So for a bit of background, obviously, so now in this adult life, what is it that you do for a living? Where do you live? Like, tell the people a bit about yourself in that sense.
Yeah, so I still live in Cardiff. Meg has abandoned ship there. She
Sorry,
lives with Manny,
hen. I
obviously.
flew
It's
off
all
to
right.
Manchester.
That's all right. It's all right. You're living your best life. Yeah, so I live in Cardiff and I work for a university. I work on like websites. So yeah.
Your techie nerdiness sort of coming into the fold there, shall we say, ish.
Kind of.
Trying
I
to
wouldn't
loosely
really
link it.
say I wouldn't really say the techie side of the websites is more
Hmm.
my thing. It's more like the content creation and
Yeah.
like writing and stuff. So yeah.
You've done like your own personal content creation on and off throughout the years, though, haven't you, since uni? Like you at one point were doing some YouTube videos, and I know
Yeah.
you started your own podcast, didn't you, with your now husband?
Yeah, I did. So again, I guess it's like on the YouTube hype that we were talking about before. I did some YouTube videos, and one of them actually went kind of viral. I think it was down to some people back home being like nasty and like trying to like dob me in sort of on Reddit or whatever. But I got like 75,000 views or something, and at the
Mm-hmm.
time I got like 80 quid, which when you're a student, 80 quid is
Oh
not
my
like
God, that's
for
nothing to sniff
Google.
at.
Like
Yeah.
exactly. So I was like, it's like thanks, Hans. Um, yeah, so that's my little solo YouTube thing. And then me and Owen, we started a podcast a few years ago. I think it was kind of during COVID, because obviously everyone was trying to find something to do
Mm-hmm.
about like horror and horror films, and because we both have like a shared interest in horror and stuff. So yeah, we sort of stopped. We might start again. Who knows?
You had plans. You were saying recently that you had plans to revive something. Were you not?
Yeah. So, like I said before, like very much into like fantasy, D&D, that sort of stuff. So we were thinking maybe starting something related to that, because that's something that like we're really
Yeah.
both passionate about. Like we're both massive nerds, so I feel like
Mm-hmm.
maybe. in the future, who knows?
Well, leading into like our sort of core topic today about just like entering your 30s era and like navigating life post uni and becoming an adult, like have you found, I've certainly found this, and I was explaining it when I first started this podcast, that like it's really easy, isn't it, to just kind of plod along in your standard like 9 to 5 life, pay your bills. And I feel like you can really easily lose your interests and what you really were probably a lot more passionate about when you were at a young, spry age in your 20s. Have you found that like that's been your experience in the last 10 or so years?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think it's part of that, like trying to fit in or trying to like look a certain way or trying to like craft yourself into this like perfect person or this like attractive or like whatever person that you want to like, you want to be popular or you want to be whatever. And then you get to your 30s and you're like, actually, I don't give a fuck what everyone thinks about me. So I'm just gonna go back to the OG me because I like there's no harm. Do you know what I mean? And also, I think it's way more authentic to like those things. It's yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
You
it's
have
too much
like a
hassle.
reconnection with yourself almost, don't you? I think that's almost the purpose of your 20s is you're just kind of discovering, trying to somewhat feel like a real adult and navigate the world for the first time. And then sometimes you can get a bit like lost in the sauce almost, and
100%.
you have your interests can flitter around so much. And then that's what I quite enjoyed about turning 30. I felt like there was this weird switch for me where it's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this is a new era, and I'm feeling actually a lot more confident about myself. And don't get me wrong, it's not like everything's perfect, and I think those challenges continue into every bloody era of your life. But there's definitely like this weird switch where you feel this, like you said, just don't give any fucks. Like that's kind of
Literally.
what I start to feel in my 30s of like, oh, I'm kind of just over all the bullshit now. And you don't feel that in your
100%.
20s, do you? Because you're just going along with the
Yeah.
crowd.
And like you said, like you're on with the crowd and you're in your 20s and you're sort of like trying new stuff out. You're trying to see what fits and what sticks. And even with like friendships and stuff, like hobbies, jobs, all of it, you
Oh,
try and everything on you to try and, which is good to do,
mm-hmm.
obviously. If you're in your 20s, do it. But then I think you sort of get bored of doing that and you're like, actually, I'm just going to do what makes me happy. I don't want to have to do something that I don't enjoy or
Yeah.
be a certain person that isn't really me or authentically me or whatever it might be. So, yeah.
Navigating friendships, I think, is definitely been probably something we can both relate to. And I mean, it's interesting, even just our own friendship and how you get through such an era, different era of your life, and then growing forward to like your 30s. Because, like, let's be real, we probably haven't had the most like smoothest of friendships. It's not just like, not everything's perfect in any friendship, is it? But it's
No.
amazing how much your adult relationships can change. Like I've had a lot of friends that I've flitted away from and I'm not friends with anymore that I was in my 20s. And I think I found that the most challenging part of all my 20s going into 30s. It's like having to accept that you can know someone for many years of your life at a certain period, but then when you reach such a stage of growth, if that's what you've personally been through, it's hard then to connect with your younger version of your friendship circles. But I'm quite impressed how we've actually been able to reach this point, because I think that's quite rare. It is quite
Yeah.
rare to do that.
Yeah, totally. And even just like the fact that obviously we met in uni, same with Amber, and like our little trio, I'd like as you said, we sort of drifted a little bit for some years, and then we've come back into the lives in other years, and
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's nice that now we've sort of found like a middle ground of there's no expectations. If one of us disappears for like 2 months and isn't in the group chat for
Yeah.
whatever long, it's fine because when you come back, it's still just exactly the same. I think that when you become into your 30s and you feel more like an adult, you just sort of realize that actually everyone is different and
Hmm.
everyone's relationships are different and how they deal with things. They don't have to be a bestie all the time. Like, you know, as long as you're in each other's lives, that's all
Yeah.
sort of really matters, really.
Everyone's like consistency can look different, can't it? For some people,
100%.
that'll be more frequent. Maybe you're geographically closer. For others, it'll be like on the phone most weeks, or that can look so different for everyone. But what would you say if you think about like the era of your 20s and like since we've become friends and that entire section of our life, like what would you pinpoint as probably like one of the bigger challenges of that era of your life?
What with friendships or just generally?
It can be about anything. Yeah, anything.
I don't know. I think for me, it was like coming out and also like starting the dating because I wasn't out like when I was
Yeah.
younger and back home in
Newsflash,
North
if we haven't already
Wales.
made clear, you're gay.
Gay.
You
Tell
in
my
fact are
husband.
married to a husband.
Yeah, exactly. But like I wasn't out to my family when I was in North Wales. I
You weren't out to us. That's actually
No,
quite a
exactly. Until
significant little
second year,
part.
yeah. And like it's just like a long going journey for people, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, internalized homophobia, all that sort of stuff, like whatever. And then when you get to a stage where you're like, okay, I'm happy with being me, I'm bi, I'm gay, I'm whatever, I'm gonna actually start exploring that, like in my relationships and all that sort of stuff. That's also a huge thing because I think for people who fall under the LGBT umbrella, um, you don't, unless you're out from an earlier age, which nowadays, which is good, kids are coming out a lot earlier because they feel
Hmm.
like they can. They've got good friendship groups and support systems. But for me back then, not that I didn't have good support systems, but like it wasn't quite as mainstream. That sounds awful, but like
It's true. It is true though. Like in some ways, you think about the history of the LGBT community, and wasn't it like sort of the 80s era? What was the year where there was like the AIDS epidemic and the way that like
yeah, the
gay
80s,
men were viewed at
90s.
that? Yeah, like 80s, 90s. Like in some senses, you think to when we were in the 2010s, like, oh, we've come tenfold since then. But
Oh,
actually, if you
100%.
if you compare it to the current day situation, which we'll get into her on the hot topics section of the pod, like there's still unfortunately so much like marginalization and discrimination within that the world of LGBT umbrella, whatever you want to call it. But like
Yeah.
it's you're right, like back then it was much more accepted, shall we say, but it still wasn't like it's not perfect and it still isn't today, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, just to go back to the point I was thinking, is like going into my like 20s then when I was out and about.
Mm-hmm.
Literally out. Like
Way.
that's almost like I was in my teenage years, trying to like
Yeah,
date people and,
yeah.
be in my authentic self. So I think that was probably my main struggle in the 20s. I don't know. Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
no,
just a weird one.
that's understandable. Like, it's such a self-discovery era, isn't it? Like, all through your 20s, and truthfully, not many people in their teenhood, like prior to their 20s or going to uni, has got much confidence, probably, like you said, school and bullying and all the rest of it. Like, I was quite similar in the sense of just my general confidence of doing
Mhm.
YouTube and doing these things. Like, I never did that in school because I think I always was just so shy and in the background. And you have this fear, like, oh, people are going to pick on you. Like, what's the point? What's the point? So that's kind of the joy sometimes of going off to uni and or work or whatever it is, because you start to blend with so many different types of people. And then what was nice about like your journey and blended into our friendship is you obviously felt comfortable enough at a very early stage of knowing each other to like come out to us too. And
Yeah.
I can recall it very well. You sent us like a cute little text, like long letter to all of us
Yeah.
individually. And I think I was actually, it was must have been over like a break, like a uni break we had, because I was at my
It was.
parents' house
Yeah.
and I can actually literally remember being sat at the dining table, like reading your message, like, oh, that's so nice. And obviously you did similar stuff, obviously, with your family. And it was, I can't imagine how intense, obviously, that must feel as someone experiencing that, but it's like a beautiful moment too, you know?
Oh, 100%. And like, it's kind of crazy because I wasn't entirely sure, like, again, it's that thing of like coming to terms with it yourself.
Hmm.
Um, and at the time I was working, I think we both were working in a bar, maybe, I can't remember. So my sleeping pattern was messed up anyway, but I literally had there's like 2 or 3 nights in a row that I had nightmares about the situation of being gay or being at the
Mm.
time I came out as bi because I felt like maybe I am. I don't want to like go all the way to one side because there
Yeah.
could be a possibility of both sort of thing. Um, yeah, and I just had nightmares, and I was like, I cannot have like multiple nightmares. Like, I just can't do it. I'm just
No.
gonna like pull the plaster off, and obviously the best thing I ever did. So, yeah,
And here he is today,
look at me.
flourishing,
I know,
married, living the best
I know,
life. It's a
I
really
know.
nice part of your story, I think. And it's probably honestly a very relatable like challenge for anyone in their young 20s, just their general identity, no matter what your sexuality. Like it's
100%.
such a confusing time, your 20s, isn't it? Like, who am I? Like, what do I
Literally,
want in this life? Like, I just career, friendships, relationships, like the whole thing is a complete mind maze. But also, you're like blending in all of those challenges with just trying to have fun as a young person
Yeah,
too.
totally. And socializing. And I
Hmm.
think it's just like about, I'd say a key word for 20s is just like confidence, like trying to find your confidence. And
Yeah,
as soon as it clicks, it clicks. And then you're like, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
this is me. This is how I want to, the things I want to do. This is like the hobbies, the people I want to hang around with, whatever it might be. You just got to stick to your guns. Like,
yeah,
you know, things will change, obviously, because that's life. Everything changes. But just going into it, like, not second guessing yourself, I think is the main
yeah.
thing.
I do think there's a lot of fearlessness in your young 20s, like that's more so the first half of your 20s. I do recall feeling quite like keen and ready to just like seize the world, even though I had no clue what I was doing, and then came to face probably many challenges. But like, there was always like this huge fearlessness I felt inside me of like, here we go, hens, we're off to the races. And then I felt like towards the latter end of my 20s, I lost that. And maybe that was blended in with the fact that we did have the COVID pandemic,
Yeah.
weirdly, in that phase of our life and lots of changes. And obviously, there was a period of time where we'd lived together for 3 years and then we went off and did our own thing. I was living on my own. You'd gone to have another flatmate. And it's like, that's also another chapter of like navigating life. And then there was something about that switch from late 20s into 30s where I feel like I'm always like almost reclaiming that fearlessness, which is quite a nice feeling because it's like, it's really easy for that to flitter off, isn't it?
Yeah.
During that 10-year period, which is a long period of your life, isn't it?
Yeah. God, it really is.
Yeah,
The world.
how did we actually get? I actually don't know how we got through 20s, to be quite frank. When you think
Yeah.
about, mate, the way we used to look after ourselves in that flat we lived in, and we're just sat there eating takeaway most nights. Like,
Literally.
what are we doing?
It's so funny and it sounds so old to say it, but you're just like, why was I doing that to myself? My creaky bones now are like, we're only 30, like, we need to calm down. But like, it's so funny, isn't it?
I
Just,
have fond
uh,
memories actually from when we first moved into that flat together. We would shoot the shit and we would just watch so much shit on TV. And I think that was the era of like RuPaul's Drag Race and getting me into that and still watching YouTube. And that was like a fun time. That I just remember that being
yeah,
like quite a fun time of like, oh, look at us,
100%.
we've got like our own flat. And then of course came the moments where we were like, oh, the flat's flooded, drama. Do
Oh
you
God,
remember
we've
that
had
day?
so many different things happen, haven't we?
I remember
Oh
that day. I
gosh.
was in work, wasn't I, in the call centres back then, and you were just freaking out. You're like, Egg, you need to come home, the flat's flooded.
Yeah,
I was
well,
like,
so I was working as a waiter at the time, and I had like a split shift. So I'd work like
mm,
X amount of hours in the morning. I'd have like 3 or 4 hours off, then I'd go back in the evening. So in those 3 or 4 hours, I came home, obviously, and then I think I just like gone down to the post box, which was downstairs, to come back up to the flat, and I could hear water, and I'm like, that's not normal.
that's
I
not
open
normal.
our airing cupboard, and I'm not even joking, there is water pissing out of the ceiling all over the
I
floor,
can't
and I'm
lie.
like,
I was so glad I
what?
wasn't there for that bit. Like, I actually think that would have been hell on earth. And like,
Oh my
bless you for
gosh,
having to go through that.
scrambling around to find a bucket and a mop, like just trying to put it, and then ringing you, and then ringing work, being like, really sorry, I won't be in work today, and then being a bit weird about it. And I'm like, girl, my ceiling is about to fall in. Like,
Oh, and
this
it
job
was
is not
all
worth it.
the weeks after it was awful, wasn't it? Because it literally soaked through like like the bathroom into my bedroom, the hallway. The landlord had to rip up the carpets. We had these dehumidifier machines on all hours of the day. It smelt damp. That I think that was the sign that like that era of that flat was kind of coming to an end. And to be
Yeah,
fair, like
totally.
we've honestly spoken about this before. Like we had been friends for so long at that point, and we'd gone from uni, house share, and then living together. I think there was a moment there in our friendship we were like, love you, girl, but I think we need like a bit of time apart. I think
Yeah,
we need to like go our
three
separate
years after
ways.
uni
Just
is good. We're good. Like,
I
yeah,
just need like my self-discovery time, live on my own. Because I was kind of craving that. I was like, I think I just want my own space and I want to like
yeah.
find myself. And then
The same. Like, yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. And then you met your delightful husband, Mr. Owen. And then here
Did
we are now. Look at
I
you.
know?
Got a house together, married. And I actually wanted to just briefly bring up um your future honeymoon plans this
Yeah.
year. Looking forward to the future. Now that we're in the 30s era. Tell us about your travel plans.
So we are going to go to beautiful Bali because
Oh,
we've heard
yeah.
so much about it, and so me and Owen are vegan, and obviously we're gay. if that's not obvious enough.
Yay!
And even though Indonesia, I don't think it's super LGBT friendly, I think Bali, because of the tourism, is like fine with it.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, we are gonna head over there because the vegan food is delicious and they're not gonna hate crimers. So I mean, fingers
And it's a
crossed.
lovely
But
tropical
also, it's
island,
stunning.
and you
Yeah,
get a bit of
literally. So,
sunshine, do some
oh God,
snorkeling.
cannot wait. No,
It's
gonna
exciting.
do some silver making, jewelry making. We're gonna, yeah, waterfalls. It's gonna be stunning.
Our friend Amber is over there right now, isn't she? Miss Travel Girl. She's
Yeah,
living her tropical life, got a coconut in hand most days. I'm just like,
so
us
jealous.
watching it on from like wintry UK, like, bitch.
Yeah, it's literally been raining all morning here, so slay.
Yay! So, in terms of this 30s era, what do you think the future holds? What do you have goals? I know obviously we're sort of still in the New Year phase of January, with us coming to the end of January. Do you have any plans or sights ahead that you'd like to achieve?
Yeah, I do actually. Normally, when it comes to like New Year's resolutions and stuff, I'm a bit like, oh, if I set one, I won't do it, sort of thing. But I'm trying to change my mindset about it this year because I'm a bit of a woo-woo queen. I love this like witchy
Girl,
vibes.
same,
I'm
literally, sorry to interrupt you. Me and my fucking Chinese fortune crackers. Oh,
keeping with you all time,
I
Steely.
sorry, update for the pod, because actually I've included this one on the first episode. I actually went to a Chinese restaurant last week, got another one. Do you want to know what it says? Which
Go
I
on.
think is very apt for the current scenario that I'm in. Look for the dream that keeps coming back. Whoa! Sorry, Larry.
Same.
I'm also woo woo because
Yeah.
you know me. I'm trying to pursue the podcast and all of it. That the Chinese fortune. Anyway, sorry. Back to your woo woo ness.
No
I
way.
just had to
You
interject to
believe in the
say that.
dream, girl. So yeah, just I'm trying to change my mindset about New Year's resolutions and all that sort of stuff, and
Yeah.
sort of think of it more as like a this is going to sound so pretentious when I say this, so just a heads up. It's like sowing a seed, right? Like if you're going to sow some seeds in a garden,
Let it
like
grow. Let it
no, but
bloom.
seriously,
No, it's
like
so
you
true.
just water it occasionally, like, and
Mm-hmm.
then something will come from it. So instead of being like, it's got to be super strict about going to the
Yeah.
gym every day and eating all healthy food, I'm actually gonna be like, no, I'm gonna take small steps
Yeah.
to get into a routine, and then once I've got that, then I can be a bit more intense if I want to, whatever.
Slow and steady wins the race, as they say,
Exactly,
hen.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, I'm trying to be like embrace life a bit more because last year obviously I got married, so like finances and stuff were obviously going towards that,
I mean,
and
cos he
time
lives, girl. To
even,
be fair, we're all in the bloody trenches
literally.
with that, aren't we? Yeah.
Literally. So I'm gonna try and like pick up some hobbies, maybe like save some money, maybe get some tattoos, really embrace like the gardening life. I know I'm not sowing seeds and stuff,
Not
but
that
like I'm
gardening life
actually
that we were talking about earlier
no,
on.
not this
The
gardening
actual,
life.
real gardening life.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So trying to embrace that. Just like do more hobbies and like get out and do more stuff. And like I think it's so easy for us to be stagnant and sort of sit in the
Mm-hmm.
house and like fine, it's great to have slug days and like watch Netflix all day or whatever it might be, but actually just push yourself and go and do the things you want to do, you know?
Yeah, life's too short, isn't it? Life is too short. That's why, like, I
Truly.
started the pod because I was like, girlies, it's been a long 10-year slog in these 20s, and we've done some stuff and we've had some fun, but like, there's something about your 30s where you just think, okay, I think I'm ready for like something new, like challenge me, like let's try and push our boundaries a bit, and then yeah, I guess you do just realize with maturity as well that like it is a bit like cliche, but life is short. Like I know it's like sad, a bit depressing to talk about, but you kind of enter that phase of your life where like people in your life might be getting older, you might be losing loved ones, and you go through woes of careers and shitty jobs. And I think you just, me personally, I after going through that for like the last few years, you just realize that, oh, I'm not being funny. Like, days not getting any shorter. Like, what are we waiting for? Literally, what are we waiting for? Like, the world is
Literally,
literally
yeah.
burning around us, which we'll get onto shortly. But it's like, it makes you more aware of just your time on this earth, I feel.
100%. Yeah, and like that's the way I like cope with life. That sounds so like depressing, but like I have to have things booked in the calendar. So
Oh,
like
same,
I
same.
can see physically on a calendar on my wall, I've got X amount of things coming up. Okay, my next thing is this thing. That's only 2 weeks away. Exciting. I can look forward to that then. And
Hmm.
then it's the next thing and it's the next thing. Otherwise, I feel like obviously it's not to shade Amber, who loves to be spontaneous. We love Amber.
That's
Like
our
a
like running thing in this group chat. I think maybe we might have mentioned it on the episode with Amber, but me and you are like serial planners. We
yeah.
like to like be in check and know what's going on. And Amber's the total opposite. She's like,
She's a
free as
free
a
spirit,
bird. She's like,
100%.
I'll let you know like the day before. And we sometimes we clash on that. We're like, girlie, he's getting married. We need you to like RSVP.
Are you going to be there or are you not?
To give credit to Amber, she can be listening to this thinking, all right, she was very good on the wedding stuff, actually. She
100%.
was
I'm the stag as
planned.
well.
But yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, but I love people who can be that
yeah.
like free spirited and just do stuff
I
so
try and take some
spontaneously
of
and they
that sometimes to get rid of my rigid plannedness, which I feel like I've gotten a
100%.
bit better over the years of being a bit more spontaneous.
Yeah, it's trying to
Yeah.
find a balance, isn't it? Like, because I feel like I want to have things I definitely know I can look forward to, but then also not being like, oh, I can't do anything then just 'cause I've got plans
Yeah.
already, sort of thing. And if something comes up that's exciting, do that as well. So,
It gives
yeah.
you like an
What about
anchor
you?
in life, doesn't it? To just know that things can be somewhat steady and the world is not crumbling around you. But yeah,
Which it might be.
honestly, similar sentiment to you, really. It's just, I feel like my 30s era is a lot about continuing self discovery, being a lot more confident in my boundaries and decisions, and doing what I want to do, like not feeling pressured to have to like fit into this society and like, oh, I'll just do the 9 to 5 corporate job because it's like safe. And even though I have responsibilities and I have a mortgage to pay, it's also like, yeah, but like we have dreams too, and we should probably pursue those and try to. And I think I've
100%.
had a real renaissance, shall we say, of that in the last like 2 years. And if I'm being honest, I think a large part of it has been my move to Manchester, like having that huge new chapter of being maybe just far away from what you knew for so long. It revives this like newness in you and this adventure spirit is what I kind of call it. So
Yeah.
that's very much my 30s era, along with having to face the fact that I do in fact need to not be single for the rest of my life and find
Girl,
a
if you want to,
man.
that's fine. But if you don't want to, then get out
Well,
there.
this is, I
Go
don't
do it.
want to. This is the thing. Like, I don't, you know me, I'm like feminist. I don't need no man. But like, truthfully, I don't want to be lonely like for the rest of my life. So I'm just in denial, and we got a few things to work through, but we'll get there. So that's kind of been my goal for this year, is to
Nice.
really push the boundaries there and like just fucking get on the dating app, girl. We got to just do it at some point. So that's the 2026 goal specifically. But yeah, that's all she wrote. Oh, the AirPod flew out. Minor technical functions here. What a way to wrap up that conversation. Which segues lovely into actually the next hot topic section of things falling apart, aka the world. No,
That
that
was very
sounds like
symbolic.
I sound like we've just gone from a really like uplifting, like
Posy
no
vibes,
to,
Slay
oh my
26,
god, the
Stevens.
world's crumbling. Oh, your camera's gone. Where you gone, hen?
Oh, hang on.
No, this is like a weird symbol.
What is happening?
What is happening?
It's just said turn on reactions. I know this now. It won't.
Oh no, I've lost you. Come back, hen.
It's not letting me leave.
Oh,
Bye
he's
bye.
back. He's back.
Oh,
It
wow. We
ends.
love technology. The amount of technical difficulties we've had this morning is
Oh,
insane.
it's been a
So,
time, but that felt like a funny energy switch there. No, sorry, I don't mean to like totally just undo our lovely conversation and go to like shit stuff. It actually is more just hot topics of things that have been going on as of late, which I thought we would shoot the shit about. And you know me, a bit of politics on this podcast, sprinkle into it. But it's hard not to talk about these things at the minute because it does feel like the ever-encompassing topic of our lives right now. And I had to just get your views and thoughts on the bloody Nicki Minaj Trump situation that's been developing in this last week. Girlie, tell me everything.
pal, I just don't understand celebrities who have literally made it and they've got a big name for themselves, and a lot of their success is down to like lots of communities, but like, within that community is the trans community, is the LGBT community, it's
Yeah.
whatever. I'm thinking of J.K. Rowling, I'm thinking Nicki Minaj. There's lots of celebrities who are like this.
J.K. Rowling.
Why do they then go, actually, bye, like I'm gonna like reduce all my morals and like
I know.
fuck you guys. Like I just don't understand these people, especially because maybe J.K. Rowling not so much, but Nicki Minaj will definitely have surrounded herself with people within that bubble, right? They I just I can't.
I literally have had the same. I've been thinking about it so much recently. I mean, this last week in particular, it's coming up because she made an appearance with Donald J. Trump out of the blue. But it is really very perplexing to understand how someone does such a 180 like that. When the irony is with Nicki Minaj for me is like she is an immigrant. She came into the United States at the age of 5. She was born in Trinidad and Tobago. And so she's obviously since then, she has American citizenship. She's here, she's thriving. And for so long, we know that Donald Trump and all of that administration, they stand for just complete racism. They want to deport everyone. And it's just, how do you morally align yourself with that when you come from that like community yourself? And again, you know, she does have a huge, or did have a massive LGBTQ plus fan base who quite frankly made her to what she is, because she's one of like the rap pop divas. Let's be so real, it's the girls, gays and the theys that are out there supporting the pop queens and all that the world. So to just completely do a U-turn on your entire fan base is so disheartening and disappointing. But I've been trying to like theorize, like you said, what possesses someone to do that? Like when you've come from that community, and the
Well,
only
even
thing
like
I can
her.
come to the conclusion, some people are saying like she's got a gun pointed behind her back, she's drugged. I did quite see a funny comment in the TikTok section that was like, "This is giving when Peter in Hunger Games was like being controlled by the Capitol."
I mean, it's not wrong.
I was like, honestly, could be real. She could have,
But
they could have something on her, or
they've got it or something, or they're paying her a lot of money because just even the way she's like composing herself is completely
yeah,
not
it's
her
robotic.
previous.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's so
weird.
strange. And like, I don't know the ins and outs of Nicki Minaj's life, but I know that there's a lot of drama with her partner being like a bit of
Oh,
a crim.
there's a lot going on there. He's basically like a
Yeah,
convicted sex offender, isn't he? He's basically
Slay.
yeah,
Like,
Slay. That
like,
she's definitely had. I actually watched a really interesting video. You know Bob the drag queen. I don't know if you've seen the video. He did one on his YouTube, and it was sort of like an analysis piece of like the magnification of Nicki Minaj, and he sort of did a bit of like a take on her history, and it's actually quite interesting when you look back how her narrative is like strangely shifted over the years. Because yeah, she's a celeb, she's a rapper, she's given it all this. She's kind of always been known as a bit of like a troll or a bit of a
mm,
personality, but sometimes like lots of pop stars and celebrities can be like that. But it took like a sinister shift at certain points, even just in her music, like the way she would start dissing Cardi B. Like remember when she threw didn't someone get thrown a shoe when they were fighting
yeah,
at the
was it
Met Gala?
Cardi? Yeah, I don't know
Cardi
who.
threw a
Someone
shoe.
threw a shoe.
Everyone's team Cardi now. But like she started dissing loads more females, Megan the Stallion, in her music, and remember that whole thing that went down with Little Mix and like the Leanne thing, and
Oh
like
yeah.
there was just something about her personality that switched in Nicki Minaj. It went from like your standard level crazy celebrity silliness to like, oh no, she's actually quite like nasty and like she's a troll. And I think that is built sadly over the years, and
Yeah.
it's like she's feeding off of it. And it's truthfully probably something that she's unhappy about in her life. It could be a marriage, who knows? But it takes a lot for someone to do a full switch like that, surely. Like, it's a very perplexing situation.
Yeah, and like obviously there's a lot of celebs who are outspoken about not liking her. And it just
Yeah.
goes to show that if people in the industry who work in the same vibe as you and the same bubble as
Mhm.
you have a certain feeling, then maybe it's a sign that like there's something going on there with how you present yourself to people or you
Yeah.
are outside of the public image sort of thing. I don't know.
It is
It's
a
just
quite.
messy.
It's just very dystopian and disturbing to see it unfold. I think because like we will have grown up with Nicki Minaj. Like I love Nicki Minaj's music. Like went to her concerts. Like I used to have a poster of her in my room in uni. Like,
Yeah.
and we've all listened to her throughout the years, and she's obviously very successful at what she does. But this crazy turn of events just in recent months, and obviously with like the current political backdrop of what's going on in the world, it's like, oh, girl, what are you doing?
I think
Why?
that's the worst part as well. It's because like her audience are all people that you it's you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like people like I am the audience initially, obviously not anymore, and it's just like, what are you like? I just don't understand why. Like I can't even put into words why you would literally do a 180 completely. Obviously, I know you said there's a slight decline in how she's been, but
Hmm. I think the other theory, which is honestly probably quite valid, which a lot of people are talking about this week off the back of this meeting she had with Trump, is she's grifting for something. She needs something, and she just got given this like weird thing called the gold card of citizenship, which
I
is
did
another.
see that.
Oh my God. It's
A
like
Trump
this.
thing, right?
Yeah, it's some stupid like thing that Trump has made where you can basically, the rich can pay their way into having like full citizenship, and then they give them like this silly little gold card with Trump's
Like an
face on
Amex
it.
card sort of thing,
Oh my
yeah.
God. But I think it's like a legit like scheme, like a citizenship thing that Trump has created. And
It's
she's just
so
now gotten
dystopian.
that. And there was a part of me for a quick second that was like, oh, is this a ruse? Is she actually really clever? Is she doing this to get her shit in check? Because of the fact that she obviously came into the country at the age of 5
As
as an
undocumented.
immigrant. She
Yeah.
also does have a very dodgy um husband who's like a sex offender. She's probably trying to get some kind of pardon there. Like it's given she's trying to get what she needs, and for her to do that, she's selling her soul to the devil. I mean, all of it is about abhorrent either way, but like there's a bit of theory there that this is what she's really doing. She's not just like randomly declaring her love for Trump because she loves him. I think she's trying to get something
Have
out of
you
it.
seen the clips of her back in like 2016 or something when she's
Yeah,
like wearing her like fun pink wig and she's
yeah,
like, Donald Trump, I love him, like taking the piss.
yeah. She's chat
And
shit
it's
about him in
like,
the
it's
past.
just,
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
but the
But
thing
then
is,
Trump does that. He's a cult leader. Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
literally brainwashed hundreds of thousands of people. And it's so scary that people are like, yes, we believe in him.
This is kind of part of the wider, I guess, discussion point of all this 180-ness of it all. Is it's not just Nicki Minaj that's doing it. Like even the administration themselves, JD Vance, who is the United States Vice President, has in the past on record called Donald Trump a Nazi. Like he hated the man, and now here he is, his vice president, like lapping it all up. It's no different to all these Tory MPs as of late that have been defecting to reform, and in the
Yeah.
past there's been records of them slagging off Nigel Farage, and they don't agree with it. But it's the price that people will pay to
So for
get what they
success.
want out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They
Yeah.
deep
It's
down, they
scary.
don't agree with the beliefs. They probably hate each other. The internal toxicness, they probably despise each other, but it's what they can do to push themselves forward is my personal belief as to why all this stuff happens. I do think there's an element, of course, of like people do get brainwashed and they probably sadly do hold some of those beliefs and can very easily be changed in that sense. But I think ultimately I just think it's probably self-serving purposes. A lot of
Yeah.
them. It's
And
either
that's why
to advance
it's
their money, their career, their power. Like people who are a bit just evil and tap like that, that's what they care about. They love having the power, the access. Like that's why you have all these scandals. You always hear like the Epstein files of it all. Do you know what I mean? Like powerful. It's all very toxic.
yeah, and
Goes
I
to
think
their
that's
head.
what's like so it can be so demoralizing, but also like scary for like as everyday folk. Like when you see people in positions of power, like politicians and people who actually control the way the world works, and they're not being human about it, not thinking about the human base of like these people need X, Y, Z things, like it's a human necessity to have healthcare, whatever it might be, and they're just trying to push their own agenda to like get more money or get more
Mm-hmm.
power or whatever, as opposed to and like also abandoning all their morals. Like you said, like a lot of them
They just
probably don't believe
capitulate,
in the
don't they?
stuff they're spouting, but it's just so scary because you just don't believe in politics or politicians then because you're like, if I follow someone, who's to say that they're not just gonna switch like halfway through because it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a better option for them to do that. So
It's
yeah.
very sad how people capitulate to a bit of a paycheck, truthfully, isn't it? And you definitely have to check who you're supporting. I will say I've been quite enjoying seeing obviously lots of responses from public figures with a lot of stuff happening recently, but I quite like Billie Eilish's approach? Have you seen like the way she's been like
Not
calling
really.
out like fellow celebs, like, are you all gonna
So,
speak up about the ice shit or what? I'm like, go on,
so
girl.
I did see her thing about donating money,
Oh
or
yeah, she
being
did that
like
speech,
an
didn't
ethical
she?
billionaire or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was like,
Oh my God, speaking of billionaires, this is my next topic, which I have to tell you about because I was flabbergasted when I found this out. I was on a TikTok deep dive and it just popped up on my algorithm. Do you remember little Miss Bridget Mendler? Ready or
yeah,
not, here I go. Yeah, a fame of Disney Channel stardom, and then she came out with that bop that we used to love. Um, Turns out she's had a mad career change, which I never knew about. Because truthfully, when was the last time you thought about Bridget Mendler?
just
Ever.
now.
Literally, same, until like I saw this video the other day. Turns out, I guess, she obviously did her Disney Channel, she was child star, all the rest of it, she did a bit of music, and then I just widely assumed that maybe she's just been continuing music, whatever.
Yeah.
No, gal got busy. She's been on quite the trajectory, and she basically went to like back to college or university as we call it. They call it college in America. She went, I think it was like maybe post pandemic. She went to a really like renowned college in America called MIT, which is the Massachusetts, I can't say that word, Massachusetts
Massachusetts.
Institute of Technology in Boston, which is like really famed for like all of the science brains of the world, right? So she did some mad like masters in media and science and arts and all this stuff, which is cool enough. And then she went on to go to Harvard, Elwoods. Hi,
Say.
Slay. And now she is the CEO of this like insanely massive revolutionary space company. I
I
know!
love that trajectory for her. I love
Literally,
that.
I was flabbergasted. You have to look up, maybe I'll like insert some clips or put some links in. There was a guy who did a really good video on TikTok. He did the full deep dive of her. And this company is called Northwood Space. And she's basically projected to be like one of the richest billionaires in like the next like 10 plus years. Like I'm talking
Whoa.
Elon Musk level of wealth. And I
Well,
was like, little
hopefully
Miss
she'll
Bridget
keep her morals.
Mendler, ready or not, here
Yeah.
I come. I like your face, you like my song. Like, how? What? Slay!
Genius. The actual genius. Like, genius lyrics, but actual genuine genius. Like,
All I'm hoping for is please become an ethical billionaire. If you're gonna
yeah.
be a
Well, I don't
billionaire,
think there's such thing as an ethical billionaire. That's the
I
thing.
know.
But, like,
I,
it's, you know,
I was quite reassured when I was looking into this a bit. It's essentially an aerospace company. She started it in 2023, and it's called Northwood Space. It's called, and I guess the structure and the main purpose of her company is that she's created some like modernized version of like satellites that like point
mhm.
up to the sky, like those big satellites. She's created some kind of like satellite infrastructure, and now she has like multi-million-dollar contracts with like the USA Space Force, and she's like
Cool.
but apparently she does lots of these like tech talks and TED talk type of things, and I watched a video of her in an interview, and she's trying to use like all of her newer technology to actually like improve like human experience. So things like, I don't know, using satellites in space to maybe pinpoint like when there could be water droughts and things like that. And it sounds like she's trying to make use of all that money to actually improve people's lives, which is quite a rarity when you think of
Yeah,
the bloody
literally.
Elon Musks of the world and Jeff Bezos. All they're really doing with space is making people have joy rides to space for the millionaires and Katy
Literally.
Perry and
Yeah.
all of it. But it sounds like she's taken a different path, and I was just fascinated, like listening to this the other day. I was like, oh my God, Miss Bridget Mendler is like on track to be like world's richest fucking woman, CEO space gal, Harvard law degree. I was like, how did we miss that? Like, how did
Literally.
we all
And
miss that?
that's the thing, right? Is that I just don't understand. I mean, I will never have that amount of money, but
Girl.
well, I just don't understand why you wouldn't put it into something like positive like that, like that she's doing. Like, obviously, yes, Tesla. Ugh, I mean, Teslas themselves are quite cool as a concept if you take Elon Musk out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do more than just some cars, girl.
In
Like,
it.
there is world hunger. There is so much stuff going on. Like, just
Do
fix
what
something.
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife is doing. What's her bloody name? Have you seen what she does with all her
She like
basically wealth?
she donates it all, doesn't she? Like just to get
Yeah.
back at him.
Let me get her name actually so I can remember. Oh, Mackenzie Scott. God, she got in good on that divorce. She got a good deal there. She obviously is just an absolute. She's also a billionaire just purely from marriage to Jeff Bezos. I mean, God bless her. How she managed to stay in a marriage with that man
Yeah,
is another thing. But yeah, she literally gives away pretty much all her wealth to like charities, philanthropy, and I just think, and she's a woman, like come on, let's get some more women. Like even Taylor Swift, like I
literally.
know she's not necessarily to the stratosphere of like the Elon Musks, but she's got quite a good reputation. Oh, a little pun there. Of being like a somewhat ethical. Well, she is technically a billionaire now, isn't she? Is she recently a billionaire? I think.
Maybe,
Really,
yeah,
she's on
yeah.
the precipice of it, but she like is a lot more generous with her money. She obviously pays her staff like incredible bonuses, and she's been known on her tours to like she donates like huge amounts to every
To
food
food
bank in the
banks,
city, and
yeah.
I'm sure there's probably more that can always be done, but like I feel like those are examples that you want to be hearing about in society if you are that rich. Like make it
I think
known that
that's the
you are
thing.
giving your lots of your wealth to people who need it.
100%. Because if you're in a stage in your life where you've got enough money where you don't even have to think about money, like you can go and
Yeah.
buy a new phone because the screen's broken as opposed to like getting the screen fixed, right?
Hmm.
Then why would you not be donating that money? Because it's not even like you're conscious of like, oh, I might not be able to do this thing, like I might not be able to have food, like, and it's always so funny to see how big corporations and stuff always put the blame on like everyday people being like, well, you should really be donating to
Hmm.
charity. And like, yes, we all should. We should all be doing what we can. But it's so funny how it's like, you're the person who's struggling with money. Yeah, well, maybe you should give less, give more of your money away so you have less. Like, maybe you should do that. Like, it's just so
That is
interesting.
just the most dark side of society, though, isn't it? It's always the people at the bottom that get scapegoated into being the cause of everything, when in fact, it's a very few select bunch of mainly men at the top who are hoarding all their wealth.
Literally.
Girlies, share the wealth. The world
I
needs
know.
it. It's
You
crying
do
out for
not
it.
need that much money. You just don't need it. You don't need
The,
it.
the fact that Elon Musk is literally due to be a trillionaire, let's just let that sink in. Trillionaire.
Stop what?
What? That's not normal. Why are we living in a planet in a world where that's a thing now?
I think as
Makes me
well,
sick.
because the the fact that it's like such a common phrase now, isn't it? Like a billionaire. Like now,
Oh, in
trillionaire
it.
will be the most
Yeah.
common thing. But like when you see those videos of like actually, when you see like when they have the grains of rice being like, this is £100,000, which is your average paycheck for a person, or like not
Hmm.
even really. Um, and then you see like one grain of rice or one pile of rice over here, which is like a normal person's salary a year, and then you see how much they get, and you're like, that literally puts
It's
into context how
mind-boggling.
much
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
What would be the next one? Quadruple billionaire or something? What
I
would be
don't
the
even
four? What would
know.
be four?
Quadruplinaire, maybe?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Meanwhile,
I
we're
don't.
just out here
Hopefully it
like
doesn't exist.
trying to afford a food shop every week. And
Literally,
don't get
yeah.
me wrong, like we're in much more fortunate positions than people who are genuinely in like serious poverty, but it's
On like
like
food banks, yeah, 100%.
that's probably the biggest thing about this world that you come to learn as you grow up and you see the world differently. You're like, there's so much inequality in many ways, but like the wealth gap that continuously grows, it just makes me sick. I'm like, there's literally people dying on the streets, and you're just like jetting off to space for a little joyride, like girlies. Katy Perry, Gail King, like all these just sickeningly rich people. And for what? For
It's not
what?
even as if it's for like the progression of science. It's
It was
because
it was a
wouldn't that be a
female
fun little
space flight.
marketing thing? Like, no, girl, like what you doing?
That Blue Origin shit made me sick. It made me sick last year. Just the way that they framed that as like, it's the first female
Feminist.
squad and it's for feminism. Girl,
Yeah, but
please.
bear in mind, I don't think any of them actually were trained. Maybe one person was trained, like who has spent years and years of their life trying to like perfect their craft. Like, no, send those people who actually deserve to go because that's their
Not
job.
Katy Perry
Like,
with a fucking daisy singing a
don't
song.
talk to me. The,
I know
I'm
we love a
also
bit of Katy
promoting her
Perry, but like,
tour.
oh God, the out of
Oh,
touchness.
nah. We like her music. I don't think we like her as a
Yeah.
person anymore, girly. This is another downfall of
God.
celebrities, you see?
Yeah, we need to not put so
Oh,
much
God.
faith and love into some of
Yeah,
these
don't put them on a
celebrities, and
pedestal.
I think it comes with a lot of just exploring to find the people who have hopefully some semi-decent morals that you might look up to as inspirations. So let's get more Billie Eilishes in the world. Let's get more Mackenzie Scotts. Let's get more fucking Bridget Mendlers. Like, come on, girlies. I just wish I could think
That's
of
how
a
they're all
male
women.
example. Is there a male example where I could go, actually, Pedro Pascal, let's get a few more of him because he's really outspoken, isn't he, against the trans issues that are currently going on.
Yeah.
And it's nice to actually see like a straight white man like use a bit of voice in that's what we need more of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just like, the marginalized group of people constantly doing the fighting. But I like Pedro Pascal. He seems pretty cool. But
Yeah, there's always like controversy around him though, but I think it's
is
just like
it?
people trying to find, yeah, just like with his um like touchy-feeliness with people. I think it's all
Oh,
consensual. Do you know
it's a
what I
little
mean? But
bit.
like, yeah, I don't know. But then again, it's just like there's always something, isn't there? With a celeb, there's always like,
There's always
well, there could be
something.
something dodgy about them because this reason, this reason. I just like, I don't know. It's all a bit doom and gloom, isn't
What do you think is the most concerning pressing issue of the globe right now? Quite a loaded question that, but
Can we just say Donald Trump? Like he encompasses an awful
yeah,
lot of that,
point
I
out the
think.
obvious. Oh,
Yeah, I just feel
yeah.
like, but then
The
saying that, I
rise of
think if Donald Trump wasn't in
fascism.
it, yeah, literally,
Mm,
if Donald Trump wasn't there, someone else would be. And I just feel
yeah,
like it's scary that we've regressed as a society. It's
yeah,
so crazy, like how just racially committed crime, murders and stuff. And
yeah.
it scares me. I'm just like, well, we're meant to be in 2026. What's
I
happening?
know.
Like,
And even going back to like your personal story earlier on about coming out and all the rest of it, it's like, look where we're at now with the trans issue and just the way that that has regressed so much in the last like say 5 years, especially in the UK actually. Even though we know it exists in America, I would actually argue that it's more rife in the UK. Like the
yeah,
vocalness of the fucking J.K. Rowlings of it all, like how does that happen? I just it's so confusing because we were on
it
such a
comes.
trajectory going up, and now look at us. Look at the
Yeah, I think it
hatred.
comes from a place of I, I say this like fear being like not like oh scared of
Yeah,
spiders, but like of the unknown, right?
change.
I think it's a lot of people who tend to be working class people because like that's how politicians they like graft away at the people who are maybe like less inclusive. Um, and it's their lack of being around diverse people and diverse communities, which is why it's racism, it's why it's transphobia, it's homophobia, it's all of the sexism, all
Hmm.
that sort of stuff. And like actually interacting with those people, actually seeing their point of view, speaking with them as a person to a person. And I think, yeah, it's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know.
I was very alarmed when I was in town last week. I go along to the area where they have some of the protests, and there was this small group of people, mainly literally like turfs as we call them, like the JK Rowlands of the world. It's often like older white ladies. It's always that demographic. And thankfully it was such a small group of them. They looked a bit sad, but they stood there with like in front of the Emmeline Pankhurst statue, by the way, which sickens me because Emmeline Pankhurst would never stand for that shit. And she's there with like a sign that's like transgenderism is killing kids, and it's like, girl, honestly, touch some grass. Like, be so for real. What the real threat in this world is not transgenderism, and
Literally, oh my
it's
God.
baffling. I mean, how do you honestly reason and try and explain that to people who are very proudly stand there and have gone to the efforts of making a banner with that
Yeah,
message? And it's like, it's very hard, I think, in current times to see that happening like with your own eyes, and we see it all online, of course. And even in the UK with that Supreme Court ruling that happened earlier last year, which is a complete farce in itself about the whole what defines a woman. It's just like, no, this is like alarm bells are ringing. We need to like turn this shit around, is kind of what I'm
yeah.
feeling at the minute.
And like, I understand if you boil it down to like the base level, right? It's a fear of people being hurt or people not being safe. Obviously, we all advocate for women's safety, for children's safety, all that sort of stuff, but they're just not looking in the right place. And they're not looking at the
Mm-hmm.
statistics of like, it's not like 90% of trans people assault a child. Like that's not real. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they've made this up somewhere. It's like domestic violence is what is an issue. It's alcoholism, it's drink driving, it's drugs, it's gang crime, it's like all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, why is that not the conversation?
I think a lot of it is honestly distraction tactics. A lot of it from the political parties. Like, I think they rile up these talking points. They get things out in the media. They make speeches to make their base of people believe it. And that's how people
Mm.
unfortunately do get brainwashed, because we know, because we got brains, it's a non-issue. People are not dying because of trans people. Nothing's happening. Nobody is unsafe in bathrooms because a trans person is in there. We all know that, and that's actually factual. But because these people are the masters of propaganda and distraction, that is where they just make up shit, make it
Literally.
believable. They package it all up with a little bow on top. And they do it really kind of going back to the Trumpism and the Nicki Minaj of it all. Like, these are self-serving people. They want
Yeah.
power. This is Nigel Farage doesn't give a shit about any of it. He just wants to be
Yeah.
at the top of the tier, at the pyramid, and he wants to make some money for it. And that's quite literally how simple it is. But it's sad
Yeah,
that
just turning
people don't
people against some
realise that.
people, right?
Yeah. Well, all we can do, I think, in these times is find local community and people that do care, which I feel reassured that there's a lot out there, and I see it a lot with my own eyes every week. And like, just keep fighting the fight. I feel like that's all we can do,
100%.
you know, in these
Yeah.
current challenging times. And find your friends, find your community, your support systems. Like, I just feel like it's so important in the current age that we're living in. Who'd have thought this
Yeah.
in our back when we were being sick in sinks in our 20s and like just full circling it all? Could you imagine that we would be sat in like, this is the world that we live in now? Like, I never in my life would have imagined, you know, there we are going to Cardiff Pride. We're all the things we've known and grown up with and enjoyed. And obviously our generation, we don't give a shit about anything. We're accepting about
Mm.
all sorts because that's what we've been raised as. But it's like, I never thought I'd see the day where here we are, sat at like the age of 31, 32, and we're actually discussing the real life things that are happening, like all these aggressions. Like, I really never could have predicted that.
Yeah, I just feel like people just need to stand up for things more. And like,
Yeah.
if you, not to be like the London Underground, but if you see something, say something. Do you know what I
London
mean? Like, obviously
Underground.
within your own safety, right? But if you are having a conversation with your family members and someone says something that's a little bit untoward or like
Call it
something
out.
that's racist or something that's transphobic or sexist or whatever it might be, they probably don't realize the gravitas of what they're saying. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
just have the conversation and be like, "Hey, we can't say things like that," or "Why do
Challenge
you
their
think that?"
thinking.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's difficult to do when it's people that you love, and obviously it's
Mm-hmm.
your family or friends, or even like an open space, like in town or something. If you see someone having a go at someone else, obviously
Yeah.
don't get into a situation that's dangerous for
It's
yourself, but
difficult. Yeah.
alert people, like because I think when things go unchecked, that's when it can
Normalize it.
build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Becomes
normalized it, and then
normalized.
oh well, so and so said it, so I can say it, and then it's like, no, I mean it's okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. There's definitely like levels to it, isn't there? Because I agree that like if you can call things out actively, you absolutely should. But then there are also scenarios like I was telling you guys, wasn't I, about in Manchester, there's this guy who like walks around with a bloody trans flag sandwich board around his body, and he has a message on there that says trans men and women, and he's got a bloody live streaming camera strapped to him, a microphone. He's a bloody does YouTube, doesn't he? And those type of people, I don't feel you can engage with them because they're
no,
doing it to find provocation. They want the views, they want the clicks, and that makes them feel better. I don't think those are genuine people who are looking to have a productive conversation.
no,
And you
100%.
have to recognize sometimes, like, no, not worth it, not getting engaged in that, because that's not really going to yield any results, truthfully, is it?
And it goes back to what we were saying before about like people putting their morals aside to try and like get better in life. That in
Mm-hmm.
that situation, they're trying to have a provocative conversation with someone, and they know it's wrong. They probably don't believe in it, but they know it's going to get the clicks, and it's going to get the
Yeah,
views, and it's all that sort of stuff. So they're going to
it's
build
making them
themselves
money.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
So
Andrew
it's like,
Tates of the world, in it. It's that kind of
God,
category of person. Oh God, what's he up to these days? He's actually
I
gone a bit
don't
quiet, doesn't
care.
he?
Is he
Thank
in
God.
prison? Wasn't he in
I don't
prison at some
know.
point?
Doesn't
I
he
hope
like
so.
go to Romania and then he gets arrested in Romania or something?
Oh,
Who
gosh.
knows? But
They
do you
should
know
just get in the
what?
bin.
I think we're doing a pretty good job in this life of just getting through the times, sticking with what we know are our own morals, and just navigating this adult life. And pat on the back to us, I say. I think we're doing pretty all right for our 30s, considering the current
100%.
circumstances of life. I think we've done pretty all right for ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think, even the fact that we're like having this conversation, like you've got a podcast, that's like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Let's go.
well done. Episode 14, was it? 15?
Girl, I swear to God, this better be, look back at this at like 10 years and be like, oh, look at the growth. Look at us go. Episode
She's gonna be
214
famous.
or something. But yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I actually think that rounds us off quite nicely. We've been yapping on for a good hour and a half, which I think is pretty decent for a podcast episode. I feel like we could probably easily go on for another 3+ hours, but
Oh,
let's not bore the
100%. Let's
people.
not do that.
We'll save for a part 2.
Yeah,
Cheese.
okay.
I'm sure there will be further episodes, and you're always more than welcome to come back on the Weekly Wigs. Happy to have you
Thank
here,
you.
co-host. But thank you for joining me. Do appreciate it. Hope you've
Thanks for having
enjoyed
me. It's
the
been good.
experience.
Yeah. I was also very nervous to start with, but it's been nice. It's just like,
Look,
it's
we're
as it
flowing.
always is. We always just chat and just
Shoot the shit.
go off on one. So, yeah.
Do you want to plug anything, like your little TikTok account or anything of the sort?
I'm not really the sort of, I don't do TikTok really. I mean,
Yeah.
I do the occasional one, but it's not really my thing. You can follow me if you want to, but
Is there a
you
message
won't
you
find
would like to
anything
plug into the
interesting.
world?
Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. That's the thumbnail.
Oh,
That's the
really.
clickbait. Don't be a dick. I agree. Couldn't
Simple,
agree
innit?
more. And great note to end on. So, guys, make sure you drop a like, a subscribe, a comment, all the rest. Maybe if you're listening to this and you're in a similar place in life, you could tell us about your 30s journey, your 20s journey, the current state of the world. Let's just get into it in the comments. Give us a chit chat. And without further ado, I bid you a farewell, Mr. Liam Condy.
Bye. Bye.